Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stabler Arena here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania with the Lehigh Student Broadcasting Club. I am Nick Dillich-Tisch. I'm joined by Jaden Yohai. Today we have a very crucial men's basketball game. We are nearing the end of the Patriot League season. We have the Lehigh Mountain Hawks, who come into today with a 12-15 record and 9-7 overall in the Patriot League, winning 5 in a row. And they're going to host the Boston University Terriers, who are 13-16 overall, 8-8 in the Patriot League, and they've also won 3 in a row. These two teams are right next to each other in the standings. We are looking forward to a great game. They are announcing the starting lineups, but first, Jaden, what do you think Lehigh needs to do tonight to extend their win streak to 6 and pretty much secure a quarterfinal home game?
Yeah, I think they just got to, continue the momentum. As you mentioned, they've been playing really well, 5 in a row. And that has been since Keith Higgins has come back. He's been back after the Army game that they lost at home 6 games ago. And they've been playing some really good basketball since. They've beaten Lafayette a couple times, and they've had some good close wins. As you mentioned, both teams are, fighting for that, 3 or 4 spot and a chance to host a Patriot League tournament game, the quarterfinal game. So I expect this one to be a close one. Also, a player to note, Burke Chubar. He's been really good recently. During this 5-game winning streak, he's been starting, and he's been in double digits every game, including a big game against Lafayette in double overtime where he made 16 free throws. So look for him to have a big game. Look for Tyler Whitney-Cindy, who's been their leading scorer the whole year at 14.6 a game, to have a good game. And look for Keith Higgins off the bench.
Well said, Jaden. For the starting lineups tonight for Boston University, we have Ethan Okusa, Kyron Alexander, Nico Nobili, Miles Brewster, and Otto Landrum. And for your Lehigh Mountain Hawks, we have Cam Gillius, Joshua Ingram, Burke Chubar, Tyler Whitney-Cindy, and Dominic Parolin. We are just underway here at Lehigh, a couple seconds, and we will begin this one. So we will be right back. Welcome back to the Lehigh Student Broadcasting Club. We are just underway after a few moments here. The starting lineups are on the court. They are talking to their coaches. And there's the horn, and we are about to start this one. Head coach Brett Reed, in his 17th season, has been frustrated with the start of their Patriot League season, and now the Mountain Hawks have been rolling. So we'll see if they can continue that tonight. Let's have a good one, folks. Tip-off coming up. For the tip-off, we have Otto Landrum for BU. And for Lehigh, we have Dominic Parolin, of course. Off we go in Bethlehem as Boston wins the tip. That is Miles Brewster bringing the ball up. A lot of ball movement on this first possession. A screen from Landrum. Boston University passes it out to the corner. Now down low to Landrum. Now down low to his teammate. Up with the left and in. So the first basket of the night goes to Miles Brewster, the senior guard from Brooklyn.
Yeah, good cut there by Brewster. He's BU's leading scorer at 10.6 a game, and he shoots the 3-ball pretty well.
Lehigh looking to get the ball to Dominic Parolin a ton tonight. He's posting up down the middle, and that is almost stolen by Boston, and it's recovered by Lehigh. Now the drive to the hoop, and that is good for number 4, Joshua Ingram, the freshman from New Jersey.
Yeah, he jabbed right there and attacked the middle and was able to get the floater to go. So 2-2.
BU looking to post up, now kicks it back down to the middle, and that's a dunk for Otto Landrum, the 6'9" forward from San Diego.
Yeah, nice pick and roll there between Landrum and Brewster. Brewster leads the team in assists, so look for him to get his guys involved.
Now Lehigh with the ball, and there's a foul on Boston. as Burke Chubar was fouled on the play on the right wing. That is the first foul of the game on Nico Nobili, the sophomore from Bologna, Italy. So Lehigh will inbound this one on Boston's side of the court. They inbound it to Chubar. Now back to Gillis. Picks up his dribble. Finds Parolin. Works to the hoop. Up and under is no good. Rebounded by Ethan Oklusa as he rushes up the court. Now to Nobili. Now Alexander. And he misses the three as Joshua Ingram fell to the floor there. Gillis working on Brewster. Passes it out to Ingram. Drives to the hoop and it's stripped. Gets the ball back. Kicks it out to the left for Parolin. And that three is good.
Yeah, kind of a broken play there. But they found Parolin in the corner for three. And he was able to knock it down.
Now Boston drives to the hoop. And there's a foul. So the first foul for Lehigh tonight. The foul was on Joshua Ingram. So Boston will go to the line here.
Yeah, Alexander kind of attacked baseline there and was able to draw the foul as he's tying his shoe.
At the line for Boston.
Kyron Alexander, a freshman from Bridgetown, Barbados, also South Shore, New York. First free throw is up and swishes it. I'll leave it at 5. With 17 minutes to go in this first half, we are just underway, and the second free throw is good, giving Boston a 1-point lead. Here's Tyler Whitney-Sinney with some half-court pressure from Boston. Interesting strategy there to start off this game defensively, but Lehigh crosses across the court. Finds Parolin down low, who's guarded heavily by Boston. Kicks it out to Whitney-Sinney for the three. You bet. 2 early threes from Lehigh here.
Yeah, good look there by Parolin, and Sidney was able to knock down the open tray from the wing.
Boston looking to respond here. Landrum with the ball. Now Okwosu, back to Landrum. Looking to pass it, gets it to Alexander. Drives to the hoop, and he misses the fadeaway, and it's rebounded by Tyler Whitney-Sinney as he pushes the pace up the court. Finds Chubar down to Parolin, who almost loses it. Lehigh settles down here. Now Chubar post up, and the move to the right is good. Dominic Parolin making his presence early so far.
Yeah, a 3-ball, a nice pass, and then a great post move.
Quick three from Boston was good. That was Miles Brewster, the senior.
Yeah, Brewster's the best three-point shooter. He shoots it at over 41%. So if he has an open look, he's definitely going to take it.
Lehigh tries to get it down low, and that was going to be a turnover. And I think they called a foul on Boston as we have our first substitution of the game. 3 new players in for BU. Matai Baptiste has come into the game, the freshman from Toronto and Orangeville Prep. Anthony Morales as well, the senior from Boston, Massachusetts. Chubar with the ball now, kicks it out. Tyler Whitney-Sinney back down low to Chubar. Posts up, goes to his left, and that is almost in. Tough shot there from Lehigh. Just does not go their way. Now Boston with the ball. Baptiste kicks it to Roy, Ben Roy, who's checked into the game for Boston. Now back out to Okwosa. Roy wraps around, gets the ball, picks up his dribble. Tough possession here for Boston on offense. Now Roy goes down to the hoop, and he misses the floater, rebounded by Chubar. Cam Gillis working on Baptiste, kicks it out to Whitney-Sinney. Trying to look for Chubar down low, gets it to him, heavily guarded by Landrum. Now he's posting up Landrum, and he gets the charge. So some great defense there from Otto Landrum. as we have our first media timeout of the night. An electric first few minutes here at Lehigh University. We will be right back. Welcome back to Lehigh University men's basketball. So far, an action-packed first few minutes here. Lehigh is up 10-9 in a crucial Patriot League game. Jaden, what have you seen so far from Lehigh on offense that has really been successful so far?
Yeah, as you mentioned, they were working into Parolin a lot, really both post sides, and then looking to find guys off of post touches. And they've gotten a few good looks from three, which is why they're ahead so far in this game.
Boston starts out with the ball. Their coach, Joe Jones, in his 13th season, having a solid year so far as that's stolen by Lehigh. Cam Gillis steals it and brings it up, picks up his dribble, almost travels. Now out to the left wing to Parolin, over to Chubar. Whitney Sidney trying to put a move on the defender, wraps around, kicks it out. Gillis, no good from three. Rebound, Brewster. Tough possession there for Lehigh.
Yeah, they got a good look, though. That was a good drive by Whitney Sidney.
Baptiste to the hoop, and he just traveled. Great defense by Lehigh. It looked like three defenders were there swarming him, and Baptiste had no choice but to travel.
Yeah, exactly. He took an extra step there, trying to stop.
Some full court pressure here from Boston. How do you think that strategy affects Lehigh offensively, Jaden?
I think it might pay dividends later. I think they're just trying to tire these Lehigh guys out a little bit. But Lehigh broke the press pretty easily.
Yeah, Lehigh doesn't look like they're struggling to break the press. One thing to note on that point with the Lehigh players being tired is we have an and one from Joshua Ingram. As we have a foul on Nico Nobili. And back to what I was saying, Jaden. Lehigh University has not made any subs so far, and Boston has already made three. So maybe that plays into their strategy there.
Yeah, possibly. Some of the Lehigh top guys do play heavy minutes, and maybe the Boston coaches know that, and that's why they're implementing the press.
The free throw from Ingram is good as he converts on the three-point play.
Yeah, that was a great move by Ingram. He faked, got his guy in the air, and just won.
Boston kicks it out to Roy, pump fake by Parolin. So a couple good defensive plays from Lehigh after the break. Gillis now driving, kicks it out. The drive to the hoop is no good. Good defense there from Baptiste. Now Brewster steps back for three, no good again. Rebounded by Chubar. A couple quick shots there from Boston. Now Tyler Whitney Sidney drives to the hoop, and he gets the foul late. Coach Joe Jones in his full suit is very upset.
Yeah, I don't blame him for being a little upset. I don't know. That looked like pretty good defense from where I'm sitting. But Whitney Sidney attacked there and was able to get the call, and now he's got a couple free throws.
He borderline had like a granny shot on that one, but he got
Yeah.
the foul. A reverse granny shot. First free throw for Whitney Sidney. You bet. Nothing but net. Substitution for Boston here. We have number, I believe, 20 for Boston. That's Michael McNair who checks into the game for Ben Roy. And we have our first sub for Lehigh. It looks like number 2, Ben Knotzman, is going to come into the game as the second free throw is good. Knotzman comes in for number 21, Burke Chubar. Brewster bringing the ball up. Boston really needs a good possession here. They've had a couple poor possessions on offense. A lot of ball movement here for Boston, as that was a bad pass that Otto Landrum was not expecting, and another turnover for Boston. Lehigh pushing the pace. Whitney Sidney picks up his dribble. Kicks it all the way across court for a Chubar 3 that is no good. But Lehigh gets the rebound. So some frustrating moments here for Coach Jones and Boston University. Chubar now working in the post against Landrum, kicks it out to Gillis. Shot clock is expiring. Gillis drives to the hoop and he blows the layup. Now Boston working fast, and now they stop. Boston needs to slow down here and really get a good look. Brewster just threw the ball away. Tyler Whitney Sidney drives to the hoop, and he makes the layup. And timeout, Boston. What a sequence for Lehigh. Lehigh is on a 7-0 run. As we will be right back after this Boston timeout. Welcome back to Mountain Hawks basketball, on the Lehigh Student Broadcasting Club. Jaden, I tried to kick it to you, but the action just kept coming. So what do you think of this run from Lehigh, and how do you think Boston should respond to that to get back into this game?
Yeah, it started on the defensive end for Lehigh. We were talking about it during the break. A bunch of Boston turnovers have led to transition buckets for Lehigh, and I think Boston just needs to take care of the ball a little better on offense and stop the bleeding.
Step back 3 from Boston is no good. Rebound by Parolin. So tough shot to start the sequence here from Boston. Keith Higgins Jr. is checked into the game for Lehigh as he almost took a 3. Now down to Ben Knotzman. Now Gillis, who's been in this entire game so far, all 8 minutes. Now down low to Parolin. Parolin looking to work on Landrum as he has all game. Shot to the right, no good. Good defense by Lehigh, or by Boston, pardon me. Now Boston driving to the hoop. And they get the foul. That looked like it might have been all ball. What do you think about that one, Jaden?
Yeah, I think I was actually blocked by a ref there, so I couldn't quite see it. The Lehigh bench seemed a little upset by the call, but another good drive by Alexander, and he's going to look to stop the run by Lehigh right here.
We've all been there, Jaden. First free throw is good for Alexander. Ethan Okusa checks into the game for Boston. Dominic Parolin is out. Bube Moma is in. Let's see how Lehigh plays without their best scorer in the past few weeks. Boston back to the full court press. Lehigh gets it across easily. Gillis gets it down low to Knotzman. Finds Higgins, gets a good look from three. You bet. Keith Higgins, first bucket of the night.
Yeah, he's Lehigh's best three-point shooter. He's shooting it at over 34% on 5 attempts per game. So Lehigh drew up a little play for him there, and he was able to knock down the kind of contested look.
Boston just looks confused on offenses. Just as I say that, it's a beautiful pass down low to Otto Landrum.
Yeah, Landrum sealed his guy there, and a nice pass, and he was able to get an easy layup to cut the lead to 7.
Boston is not known as a very good scoring team. They're more of a defensive team. Lehigh has been doing very well against their defense so far. Higgins, another three, wide open. Splash! 2 for 2 for Keith Higgins Jr.
Yeah, that shot was wide open. A little confusion on the Boston defensive side, trying to get over the pick, and Higgins knocked down a wide open corner three.
Boston needs a bucket here. They really do. The pass is out of bounds. The Lehigh crowd is going crazy. That was Kyron Alexander who tried a cross-court pass, and it could not be recovered by Anthony Morales.
Yeah, good defense there by Lehigh, and a pretty bad pass there. So Lehigh is up 10 now, looking to extend the lead.
Lehigh gets the ball to Higgins, who's had the hot hand since he came into the game. Now over to Knotzman, looking to make a pass. Now cuts right. Finally makes that pass. Lehigh hasn't really had that much this possession so far. The fadeaway jumper, no good. MoMA kicks it out, but it's rebounded by Ethan Okusa, who drives up and stops. Now Landrum, now out to the corner to Roy. Ben Roy drives, now back to Landrum. Up and under is good. So Boston finally gets a bucket here as they cut the Lehigh lead down to 8 as it is 23-15.
Yeah, Landrum's helped keep them in it with some, good defense and then also some good finishes around the hoop.
Bube Muma,
breaks a turnover.
yeah, Bube Muma drove to the hoop and he dribbled it off his foot, and Boston is going to get the ball. Landrum calling for the ball, immediately kicks it out to Roy, who drives, and the shot is no good. Fighting for the rebound is Baptiste. The ball was stripped, and it's out on Lehigh.
Yeah, no one boxed out Baptiste there, so he was able to keep the possession alive. As we got some substitutions here for Lehigh, looks like Tyler Whitney Sidney's checked into the game.
Yes, and of course Miles Brewster is also checked in for Boston. So 2 very good scorers are back in this game. Roy's going to inbound this one on Lehigh's side of the court, guarded by Nasir Whitlock, who's checked into the game. Roy gets the ball back. Now Morales drives to the hoop, misses it, and it's not rebounded. He couldn't secure it as it was rebounded by MoMA. Whitlock brings it up. Now out to Knotzman, again looking to pass. Now drives to his left, gets the screen from MoMA, and he gets the layup.
Yeah, a bit of a steal there by MoMA, and again, not great communication there on the BU defense as Knotzman had the wide open layup.
Roy, now to Morales. We've seen a ton of ball movement as Brewster stops and he airballs, but it's rebounded by Boston, and the up and under is good for Morales.
Yeah, a tough shot there by Brewster, but Morales was able to read the shot well.
Lehigh working fast. Tyler Whitney-Sidney with the amazing move, and he gets the bucket to go.
Yeah, great post move there by Whitney-Sidney. Bunch of fakes, and he was able to get the layup on the right side.
Boston has had a ton of ball movement, but they haven't had any good looks, you would think, right, Jaden?
Yeah, not too many, especially from the outside. A lot of those shots have been heavily contested.
Okusa down low, and that's stolen by Lehigh. Lehigh is pushing it up the court. Whitlock kicks it out to Higgins, and now they're slowing down. Higgins, another three, no good this time. Still has an elite shooting percentage from three tonight at 66.67%.
Yeah, and that one almost fell. It was just short.
Yeah, that was another good look there, but no good. Now Boston with the ball. Now Boston shoots a three, and it's no good. Rebounded by Tyler Whitney-Sidney. Some friendly fire there.
Yeah, same team action.
That was Baptiste on the three. Tyler Whitney-Sidney goes to his right, and he gets the layup to go. What a move from Tyler Whitney-Sidney.
Yeah, you said it. That was some move. He went behind the back and attacked on the strong side and got an easy layup.
That pass almost went out of bounds again. Roy drives to the hoop, now kicks it out. And it's another steal from Lehigh. What an amazing defensive effort so far in this first half.
Yeah, it really has been. A lot of turnovers created by Lehigh and a bunch of steals. That time, Tyler Whitney-Sidney with the steal.
Now Whitney-Sidney with the ball. Out to Higgins, drives to his left, stops, shoots it. Almost rebounded by Baptiste. Ethan Okusa shoots it. The lefty is good. The long two from Boston finally puts an end to this Lehigh run, as that is a huge bucket for them.
Yeah, you said a much-needed bucket for BU there, and a good shot as Lehigh is now up 10.
Looks like Lehigh is playing a little slower on offense after the break. It's been working for them. Whitlock finally gives it up to Moma down low, guarded by Baptiste, and he turns the ball over again. Now Brewster picking up the pace, picks up his dribble, gives it to Roy for a long three. That's good.
Yeah, Roy made the defensive play, doubling Moma on the post and creating the turnover, and then he knocked down the long three, as you mentioned. And, BU on a little 5-0 run here.
BU has cut the Lehigh lead down to 7 as we are approaching the 5-minute mark in the first half. The three-pointer, no good. And there was a loose ball foul on Bube Moma, as that was Ben Knotzman on the three, as we have a media timeout. So we will be right back. Another action-filled section of this game. We hope you are. We will be right back. Welcome back to Lehigh Mountain Hawks men's basketball. What a sequence there, Jaden. I mean, Tyler Whitney-Sidney scoring more points, all the turnovers again from Boston, and then at the very end, Boston just goes on a run and cuts the lead down to 7. What do you think Lehigh needs to do here to regain that huge lead that they had?
Yeah, I just think they gotta, continue to get it to Whitney-Sidney. He's been hot so far, especially slashing. They gotta continue their good defense, getting their hands in the passing lanes, and just not allow too many inside looks.
Whitney-Sidney leads all scorers with 11 so far tonight. Boston gets it down low, and we have a loose ball foul on Parolin. Boston was trying to get it down to number 14, Nico Nobili. Boston not yet in the bonus, so they inbound it.
Looks like Knotzman's coming in the game for Chubar.
Yes, Ben Knotzman gets a solid 10 seconds on the bench there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and another substitution for Lehigh. Joshua Ingram comes in for Keith Higgins Jr. Roy's going to inbound on the left side. Good pressure from Lehigh. Gets it into Alexander. Now down low to Nobili. Working on Knotzman. Stops, goes to his left. No good. And out on Boston. So great defense from Ben Knotzman, the junior from Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, they attacked him right as soon as he, got into the game. And I think Nobili thought he got fouled there, maybe. He was complaining to the ref that he might have gotten hit in the face.
Yeah, there was some contact there, but no call from the refs. Now Lehigh getting pressured heavy is Parolin. Kicks it out, sets the screen. The fadeaway jumper, no good. That was Nasir Whitlock. Now Boston pushing up the pace on offense. Now Landrum with the ball. Kicks it across the court. That was almost stolen by Whitlock. Landrum, guarded by Parolin, picks up his dribble. Okusa tried to get it down low, and it was somehow recovered by Landrum. Now Nobili stops, kicks it out. The jumper from Boston is no good. Rebounded by Lehigh. Amazing defense there.
Yeah, that really was. Really good hustle.
Ingram driving to the hoop, kicks it out to Knotzman. Whitlock thought about it, now drives across the court. Whitney-Sidney for 3. You bet.
Yeah, that was great ball movement there by Lehigh. And Whitney-Sidney hasn't shot the 3 so wellly this season, but he's made a couple tonight, and that was a great shot.
Whitney-Sidney with 14 in the first half. Now Boston gets a good look, and it's good by Landrum.
Yeah, Landrum's got 8 now. He's leading the team in scoring. That's been their best offense so far, BU, getting it inside to Landrum for some easy looks.
Whitlock drives to his right. Looked like he was fouled there, but no foul. Rebounded by Landrum. Boston really pushing the pace here on offense. Roy fakes around the ball screen. Now Landrum for 3, no good. And that's out on Boston, as it was almost saved by Tyrone Alexander, as we have another media timeout. So Lehigh is currently winning this game 32-24 with just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. We will be right back. So, Jaden, Lehigh's defense has been sensational this game. I don't know how many turnovers Boston has, but it's approaching 10 so far in this first half. What does Boston need to do to sort of break that stretch of bad offense and at least prevent turnovers and start getting good looks? Because if they continue to turn the ball over, they are not going to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. We mentioned it, or you mentioned it a little bit. Boston struggles to score a little bit on offense to begin with. So, having turnovers sort of just increases those struggles. I think they just got to, continue to look to get it inside. That's where they've had most success. And they really just got to watch the passes because these Lehigh defenders are making sure to keep their hands in the passing lanes.
Chubar kicks it out. Splash. That's Cam Gillis.
Yeah, that was a wide open look from Gillis. A defensive breakdown there by Boston.
Boston really needs to get going on offense here. Brewster working on Whitney Sidney, gets it down low to Landrum, trying to work on Parolin, gets him to jump, gets the jumper, and it's good. So a good move there from Boston's leading scorer tonight. Lehigh pushing the pace again. Parolin kicks it all the way across to Tyler Whitney Sidney, and he says to slow down. Back to Whitney Sidney, drives to his left. Tough shot, looking for the foul, does not get it, and it's stolen by Lehigh. It was almost backcourt. Now to the corner to Whitney Sidney, gets the jump, misses the layup, and a late foul call on Boston. So a crazy sequence there.
Yeah, that was a crazy sequence. I actually thought Whitney Sidney got fouled on his first attempt. No call. Boston, recovered the rebound, but then Ben Knotzman with a great hustle there to get the steal, and they got it back to Whitney Sidney. He attacked again, and then he was able to draw the foul. So 2 free throws now.
First one is good for Whitney Sidney. Keith Higgins is checked into the game. Some well-deserved rest from Ben Knotzman here as he exits for Lehigh.
Exactly. He had a couple good minutes.
Tyler Whitney Sidney, nothing but net on both free throws as Lehigh re-extends their lead to 11. It is now 37-26. Ben Roy slips, but just gets the pass off. Brewster tries to get it down low. It's tipped by Whitney Sidney, but recovered by Brewster. Brewster now drives to his left, stops, kicks it out. Now drives to the hoop, and it is a tough bucket from Kyrone Alexander.
Exactly, yeah, you mentioned it. Tough bucket and a good drive. Alexander's had some success driving. He's hit some free throws after some fouls, and he had the nice layup there.
Higgins back into the game. Working on Baptiste. And we have, I believe, a timeout from Lehigh in the middle of the possession. Yes, that is a Lehigh timeout from Coach Brett Reed in his 17th season. I believe this will be a 30-second timeout, but we will be right back regardless, so don't go anywhere. And just like that, we are back. Interesting strategy there from Brett Reed. Calls a timeout in the middle of possession with just over a minute to go here in this first half. Jaden, what do you think Brett Reed is doing here on offense that he needs to use this timeout?
Maybe he just wants to drop a little play here. They got 10 on the shot clock now. And it looks like it's for Higgins as he's coming around a screen.
Higgins gets the ball down low, guarded by Baptiste. Fadeaway shot, no good. Rebounded by Brewster. Brewster has had a sneaky good game as he turns it over right as I said it, but it's recovered by Boston. Now passes all the way around. Looks like Brewster hurt his wrist. Alexander, and we have a block on Gillis. It was outside the restricted arc, but it looked like he was moving.
Yeah, and also I think he flopped a little bit. The Lehigh crowd wasn't too happy with that one, but I got a great look at it, and I think that was the right call. As you mentioned, a little injury we have here by Brewster, which would be a huge loss for BU. He was holding his wrist.
Yeah, Brewster is checked out of the game. Continues to hold that right wrist as he's being worked on by the trainer. Hope he's all good. Roy's going to inbound this one for Boston. Looking for someone. Gets it. Landrum working on Parolin. Stops. Tries to get it out to Alexander. More great defense from Lehigh. Looked like a push-off, but we have the foul on Lehigh on the shot on Tyrone Alexander, who's going to shoot 2.
Yeah, good no call there, I think, on the offensive foul. Again, a little bit of a flop there by Whitney Sidney, but Whitney Sidney's been really good defensively this half. He's been getting his hands on the ball a lot and has been disrupting some offensive plays by BU.
First shot is good. Ethan Okusa is checked into the game for Anthony Morales. Looks like some defensive substitutions as Lehigh will have one more possession as the shot clock is turned off. Burke Chabar comes into the game. Joshua Ingram will leave. Oh, and now Anthony Morales is back into the game. So some chess moves from both coaches here for one possession, as the second shot from Alexander is good. Lehigh now up 37-30 with one possession left, you would think.
Yeah, and a little full court press here by BU.
Gillis, guarded by Roy, easily gets it across court. Dribbling this clock out, looking to set up. Looks like Higgins he's looking at. Now a screen. Gillis still with the ball. Now Parolin drives to the hoop, goes to his right, and it's good. Now Boston running out of time, and they don't even get the shot off. What a great end of this first half for Lehigh. As at the end of the first half, the score is Lehigh 39, Boston 30. So we will be right back. A great first half from the Mountain Hawks, but they've got to finish this one off. Welcome back to Lehigh Mountain Hawks basketball here on the Lehigh Student Broadcasting Club. I am Nick Delictish. I'm joined by Jaden Yohai. A great first half from Lehigh and a huge game for Patriot League playoff seeding. So there's one more game left after today. Jaden, what have you seen so far from Lehigh on the defensive end? Because that's really where they've been striving so far tonight.
Yeah, it has. They've only let up 30 points in the first half. They've created a lot of turnovers. BU has 8 turnovers. They've just been getting their hands in the passing lanes a lot and deflecting a lot of balls, sending good double teams, and just having good rotations overall.
Boston won the jump, so Lehigh will start the second half with the ball. Continuing with the full court pressure is Boston. The starters are in for Lehigh. Cam Gillis. Looks like Miles Brewster is back in the game, so good to see that he's okay. The step back three from Lehigh, no good. Rebounded by Boston. Boston pushing it up the court. Alexander passes it up. Now Landrum drives to the hoop. Now kicks it out. Now back down low to Landrum. He has the sort of the mismatch. He has a little height advantage. And it was almost a steal from Joshua Ingram, but he gets the foul.
Yeah, that was a good rotation there by Ingram. He got there just a fraction late to get the steal. But yeah, BU was trying to work it into Landrum, which was successful in the first half.
Alexander gets it, immediately shoots the three, and that is good, as he almost trips on his teammate. A good thing he's okay.
Yeah, 11 now for Alexander. He hurt Lehigh attacking the rim in the first half, so a little change up there going for the three.
Chubar from three. You bet. That's a huge three as Boston cut the lead down to 6, and it's now 9 for Lehigh.
Yeah, good answer there by Lehigh. A little pick and pop between Chubar and Whitney Sidney, and Sidney found him outside for 3.
Brewster kicks it all the way out. Now down low, and it's stolen by Parolin, intended for Landrum. Now Whitney Sidney. Whitney Sidney leading all scorers tonight with 16 points. Takes the three, no good. Seems like he rushed a shot there.
Yeah, tough shot there. I'd rather see him attack the rim.
Alexander is stopped by Ingram. Now kicks it out to Brewster, looking for a screen from Landrum. Goes the opposite way. He's guarded heavily. Gets it up and under with the left. A tough shot that goes in for Brewster.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. It seemed like Lehigh had kind of stood him up there defensively, but he, made a really nice move to get the left-handed layup.
Ingram kicks it out. Gillis for 3. No good. Rebounded by Ethan Okusa. And he gets the charge on Tyler Whitney Sidney. A huge defensive play.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Whitney Sidney's been great defensively so far in this game. And that was a great job anticipating where his man was going and, laying out for the charge there. And much needed there for Lehigh because BU had, cut the lead to 7 and had a few good offensive possessions to start this half.
Gillis gets across midcourt. That was number 4, Ingram, who hits the deck, and he almost got the jump ball, but it's recovered by Lehigh. Gillis pump fakes the 3. Now kicks it out to Parolin, who drives. Now out to Chubar. Tough possession from Lehigh. 5 seconds on the shot clock as Parolin drives to the hoop. And 1! Dominic Parolin. What a great recovery from Lehigh.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that was a tough possession there for the Mountain Hawks. Ingram initially had, fallen on the floor, and then the ball was loose, and it ended up in Parolin's hands, and he made a really nice move attacking from the strong side to the weak side and finishing with the left hand. And now he's got a chance for an and 1.
Boston, with the substitution, Matai Baptiste comes in for Nico Nobili, as the free throw is no good, rebounded by Morales, so cannot get the three-point play there. Ben Roy, who's had a ton of minutes tonight. It seems like he's rarely gotten any rest. Now Morales down low, picks up his dribble. Alexander spins, gets it down low, almost out of bounds, recovered by Landrum. that looked like a travel there, but he gets the up and under.
Yeah, it was definitely close. That was a nice move there by Landrum. He spun baseline and was able to, use the shot fake and get the up and under to go.
Yeah, nice move regardless of the travel call there. That was not called. Chubar down low. Gets double teamed and they get the reach and foul on Morales.
Yeah, they had to send a double because Chubar had a mismatch there. So good job by Lehigh to find that and generate that foul as we got a substitution here.
Yeah, Smiles Brewster comes in for Kyrone Alexander. Lehigh inbounds the ball, and that's stolen by Brewster, who drives to the hoop, goes to his right, and he makes it. So just like that, this lead is cut down to 5.
Yeah, immediate impact there by Brewster coming off the bench. He leads BU in steals this year, and he got one there. And, yeah, it's only a 5-point game now.
Lehigh needs to get a bucket here. Trying to get it down low to Chubar in the post, and it's almost stolen. Recovered by Chubar, and now deflected. And they're going to say that was out on Lehigh. Coach Reed is ecstatic with that call. He thinks that it was out on Boston.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been tipped by a Boston guy, but honestly, to me, it just looked like Chubar kind of lost his footing a little bit there. He initially got a strip, got it back, but then sort of lost his footing while trying to make a play and just sort of threw a bad pass.
Huge possession here for Boston. If they can get a bucket here, it'll be a 1-possession game. Baptiste. Now to Morales. Now out to Brewster for 3, no good. And we have an over-the-back foul called on Boston.
Yeah, they got to look for Brewster, who's their best three-point shooter, but he was not able to knock it down and then over the back to give Lehigh the ball as we have a timeout here.
So a good start to the second half for Boston. We will be right back after this media timeout. Welcome back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, here at Stabler Arena. Great start to the second half from Boston. A couple good looks from Lehigh, but overall, Boston has been winning the second half. It is a 5-point lead. At halftime, it was a 9-point lead. What has Boston done so far to impress you, Jaden?
Yeah, they've continued to get the ball down low to the post, and they've definitely tighten up their defense. Only 5 points in the second half for Lehigh so far, and it looks like they're coming with a little full court press here.
Yeah, Boston has shown that full court press early in the first half. Looks like they're going back to it. Lehigh's had no trouble getting the ball across midcourt. Chubar now out to Gillis. Lehigh looking to get it out to the corner. Nothing going so far. Down low to Chubar. Gets double teamed, passes across court. Now to Whitney Sidney for three, and it's short. Oh, and it's almost rebounded by Lehigh. Let the bodies hit the floor. That was Roy and Ingram who hit the floor there. And they're going to call a foul on Ben Roy.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. I kind of just thought both guys lost their balance, and it went off Ingram. But Lehigh will definitely take it.
Gillis inbounds it to Parolin. Now Whitney Sidney kicks it out to Gillis. Tries to drive, but is stopped. Now it goes to his left, and it's almost stolen, and now it is by Boston. That's Ben Roy. Now Miles Brewster stops. Good defense from Parolin to recover for Lehigh. Now Brewster with his dribble. Tries to go to his right. Great defense from Dominic Parolin. Kicks it out to Roy. Now Boston gets it down low. The up and under is good from Ty Baptiste, and this is a one-possession game.
Yeah, pretty good possession there defensively by Lehigh until the very end. Parolin played great defense there on Brewster, but just kind of a let-up there at the very end to, give up the layup.
Burke Chubar to the hoop, gets the foul call. I was just going to say Lehigh needs some points here, and they'll have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, Chubar almost got the and one there, but the layup just came off, so he's got 2 free throws now.
2 free throws here for Burke Chubar. The senior from Marietta, Georgia, having a great season. First one is no good. A little too strong there. Keith Higgins is going to check into the game for Tyler Whitney Sidney. Maybe that's an offensive substitution, Jaden.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm a little confused by it, though, because, Whitney Sidney's been really good this game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they generate offense. I think they're probably going to run some plays for Higgins. That's kind of my guess.
Chubar makes the second free throw. Now Boston working on Gillis. Picks up his dribble. Now out to the corner to Roy. Drives, gets it down low to his teammate, and he's fouled. It looked like it was a block, but it ended up being a foul on Lehigh.
Yeah, I didn't have the best look at it, but I didn't see any contact. But that's Alexander again, who was 6 of 6 from the line in the first half. So he's going to look to add to that and cut the Lehigh lead.
Tyrone Alexander, the freshman, makes the first free throw. He's had a great freshman year from Bridgetown, Barbados.
Yeah, and a really good game today. Him and Landrum have really kept BU in it since they've been their 2 main guys on offense.
Alexander 2 for 2 from the line, and it is a 2-point game, just like that. Gillis pressured by Roy. Already a ton of time off the shot clock. Now down low to Chubar, and it's a charge. Ben Roy draws the charge, and a terrible start to the second half for Lehigh, as it looks like we're going to get a substitution for Lehigh. Ben Knotzman is going to come into the game for Burt Chubar.
Yeah, I think that's Chubar's 3rd foul. I don't know. Roy did a good job of hanging in there and definitely selling the charge. Knotzman had some good minutes for Lehigh in the first half, and they were pretty good when he was in there, as they were a +4. So maybe he can ignite them a little bit here in the second.
Lehigh has the opportunity to give up the lead on this possession. Okusa kicks it out to Baptiste. Guarded by Higgins. Now to Landrum. Now back to Okusa. Some good ball moving here for the Terriers. Roy passes it all the way across the court. Alexander drives, and it's out of bounds off of Boston. A huge defensive possession there from Lehigh.
Yeah, it really was. That was Lehigh's best defensive possession of the half so far. Really good rotations, good closeouts, and ended with another BU turnover.
Cam Gillis looking to pass it. Gets it to Knotzman. Now Parolin down low. Gets it out to Higgins, and he gets the foul on Landrum. He was not shooting, but he got a pump fake, and Landrum went flying and drew the foul.
Yeah, Landrum got up high to block that shot as Higgins was trying to drive, and he kind of crashed into Higgins. And it looks like he's going to have some free throws here.
Yes, they called it a shooting foul, actually, as Boston makes 3 substitutions. Nico Nobili is checked into the game. Anthony Morales is checked into the game. And we're going to have another substitution for Lehigh. Nasir Whitlock has come in for Cam Gillis. And now Kyron Alexander has checked in for Matai Baptiste.
I think Lehigh's in the bonus here, so 1-1 for Higgins.
Keith Higgins' first shot is no good. You were correct. It was 1-1. Those free throws are huge here in a close game for playoff seeding.
Yeah, they really are.
Boston tries to get it down low, almost threw it out of bounds. Now Alexander does throw it away, stolen by Parolin. Lehigh gets it all the way across the court, drives to the hoop. No foul call, but it's out of bounds on Boston. So a tough shot from Joshua Ingram trying to get the foul. Almost hits the shot clock, but Lehigh gets lucky and they will keep possession.
Yeah, you said it. Lehigh did get a little lucky there. Yeah, I think he maybe should have just tried to pull it out and not attack because there's so many guys in the paint for BU there.
Higgins. Now out, and looked like it might have been tipped, but Lehigh keeps it in play. Higgins with the ball now. Step back 3, no good. Not much he could do there.
Yeah, really tough shot.
Boston looking to tie or take the lead. Nobili. Now Alexander gets double teamed, kicks it out, drives to the hoop. Tough shot, no foul. And Lehigh gets the rebound, and it's almost stolen by Alexander, but luckily for Lehigh, Ben Knotzman was right there. Gets it down low to Parolin. Gets it up, and it's good with the contact, but no foul called.
Yeah, great finish there by Parolin. And, yeah, that was kind of a weird possession there. Lehigh almost turned it over in their own zone, but, hey. They got a bucket, so it's a 4-point lead now for Lehigh.
Boston gets it down low to Morales, and he's fouled. The shot is no good. Back to what you were saying, though, Jaden. That looked like one of those plays in the first half where Lehigh was discombobulated, and then they got a bucket after. We are going to the break here. I believe this is a media timeout. Yes, a media timeout. We will be right back. Very exciting game. Don't go anywhere. Boston University is getting really close to taking the lead here in this crucial Patriot League matchup. It is 47-43, but Boston has almost dominated the second half, not including that last stretch of a few shots. 2 free throws here for Anthony Morales. First one is too strong, no good.
The Lehigh student section really getting into this game right now. They know that their team needs some support.
Second shot from Morales is good. So Morales goes 1 for 2. And is yet again another one possession lead from Lehigh. Full court pressure from Lehigh. Ben Knotzman. Now Whitlock gets it to Whitney Sidney. Bube Moma is checking into the game for Lehigh. Whitlock now gets the screen from Moma. Good defense from Nobili. Drives to the hoop. Now kicks it out. Tough possession from Lehigh. Now Keith Higgins with the ball. Goes to his left. Gets the jumper, and it's good. Ben Roy can just shrug there as he had good defense, but still, good offense will always beat good defense.
It will. That was a tough possession by Lehigh, but a great shot by Higgins.
Nobili. Now to Brewster. Step back jumper. Good defense from Higgins is good. So just like that, Boston answers with a tough basket of their own.
Yeah, that was a tough basket. Brewster with a nice step back jump shot.
Sear Whitlock. Now to Higgins. Over to Knotzman on the right corner, guarded by Morales. Fakes right, goes to his left. And it looks like we have a jump ball. So a great defensive effort from Ethan Okusa. And it's going to be Boston possession.
They had the possession arrow as Moma's coming out of the game for Lehigh.
Yes, Moma, short-lived stint there on the court.
And it looks like Chubar is back in.
Nobili out to Brewster. Drives again. Now with his left, gets the foul call. No good. But Brewster has a chance to cut this to a one-score game, just like that, with 9 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the second half. Looks like Dominic Parolin is going to check into this game. And I totally agree with that decision.
They've been playing well when Parolin's been on the court, so I think Coach Reed sees that. But a nice move by Brewster to get to inside the lane and draw the foul.
First shot from Brewster is good. Dominic Parolin officially checks into the game for Burke Chubar. Second shot for Brewster. Boston down 2 here. Miles Brewster just gets it in. So Boston is down by 1 after being down by, 14 in the first half?
I think 12 they're down by, and 9 at halftime. Lehigh took Chubar out there because he's picked up his 4th foul on that last drive.
Parolin picks up his dribble, gets it to Whitney Sidney, drives to his right, a tough shot, does not go in. More tough possessions here from Lehigh. Okusa drives to his left, and Boston has the lead.
Crazy comeback by Boston. Just not good, as you mentioned, not good possessions by Lehigh on offense. A lot of tough shots.
We have a foul. Looks like it's on Boston.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's on Ethan Okuso, his second.
Which means free throws for Lehigh. It's going to be Tyler Whitney Sidney at the line.
Lehigh needs to make these free throws in the bonus if they want to win this game. First shot on the 1-and-1 for Tyler Whitney Sidney. First one just goes in. He will get another shot, of course.
Yeah, much needed free throw there by Lehigh. If you guys remember, Higgins had a 1-and-1 and he missed the front end, so they didn't come away with any points there.
Second one is good. 2 clutch free throws from Tyler Whitney-Sydney as Lehigh tries to extend their win streak to 6 in a row. Roy brings up the ball. Now Nobili. Now out to Brewster. Brewster guarded heavily, gets it down. No, he passes it out to the left. Now back to Roy. Drives to the hoop. Misses the strong layup. Rebounded by Parolin. And it was almost stolen by Royce. Here comes Tyler Whitney-Sydney. Now drives to his left, and it's rejected by Morales. It will be Lehigh basketball, though.
Yeah, Roy made a good move down here, a little stop and go. But he wasn't able to finish the layup, and then Whitney-Sydney kind of got blocked on his attempt.
Substitutions here for Boston. Tyrone Alexander comes in for Ben Roy, and now Otto Landrum, who was their best player in the first half, comes in for Nico Nobili. Whitney-Sydney inbounds it low, takes it out, now drives back to the hoop. Rebound by Lehigh over the center, and he gets the bucket. What an effort from Nasir Whitlock, who is 6'2", who got the rebound over a 6'9" Otto Landrum.
He missed his initial attempt, but was able to stick with it and get the putback to extend the Lehigh lead to 3.
Brewster gets it down low, and he tries to dunk it. Does not make it, but he gets the foul call. That was Ethan Okwusa.
He tried to put Parolin on a poster there, but came up short, but was able to draw the foul.
Ethan Okwusa, 2 free throws here for Lehigh from North Haven, Connecticut. Shout out Connecticut, as I'm from Connecticut. First shot is good for the lefty. Always got to shout out the Connecticut boys.
Of course, of course.
Second shot here upcoming for Okwusa. Lehigh student section is getting very loud, and it's good. So Boston, yet again, only down by 1, as they've had 1 lead in this game so far when they were up 50-49.
And Boston's going back to the man press that Whitlock easily broke.
Whitlock turns the ball over, and it looks like it's a foul. Boston thinks it's a loose ball foul. And I think the referees are going to discuss this.
They are. I think maybe a clear path foul they're discussing because...
Yeah, I meant clear path foul I think I said loose ball foul, but looks like it might be a clear path foul as we are going to go to immediate timeout here in Bethlehem. Man, is this game exciting. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Lehigh Mountain Hawks basketball. Looks like Brewster is going to get a 1-and-1, so it looks like it was a clear path foul. I don't know what's taking so long here. The referee's talking to Brewster before the free throws. It is loud in Stabler Arena. First free throw is good, just falls in. We are tied here in Bethlehem. Second free throw for Miles Brewster, the senior from Brooklyn, and he goes 2 for 2 to give Boston the lead. Full court pressure from Boston. Lehigh slowing it down. Now picks up the pace is Ben Knotzman. Now Gillis with the ball, working on Brewster. Oh, and a kicked ball by Brewster as Gillis tried to get the ball down low.
This is an important possession here for Lehigh because they haven't had too much success on this side of the floor in the second half, and BU has a lot of momentum.
Higgins turns the ball over. Just bad possessions here from Lehigh. They cannot afford these this late in this game.
You're definitely right about that. That was just kind of a turnover off of an inbounds pass.
Morales now working on Knotzman, picks up his dribble, gets it out to Brewster. Brewster out to Morales. Drives, goes to his right. Tough shot is no good. Rebounded by Parolin. Good stop there from Lehigh. Now Gillis pushing the pace. Goes to his right. Gets it to Whitney Sidney, who drives. The shot is a little too strong as Whitney Sidney hits the floor. Now Alexander driving to his right. Stops. And is rejected by Parolin. Now Gillis gets it up to Knotzman, and Lehigh slows down.
Great block there by Parolin. Lehigh, they really need something. They've just been empty-handed here.
Parolin picks up his dribble, gets it to Gillis, drives, kicks it out to Knotzman, out to Parolin for three. Splash! What a huge three from Dominic Parolin, the man who scored 30 points versus Lafayette in that double overtime thriller. And now Boston needs a timeout. 56-54 here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. An amazing game so far tonight with just over 6 minutes to go. We are back for Lehigh basketball. This has been an amazing one to call. Jaden, what do you think Lehigh needs to do here? They've sort of gotten back into a groove offensively, but it is still such a close game because Boston has finally picked it up offensively. What does Lehigh need to do to settle down and just secure the win on home court?
I think they need good ball movement on the offensive side. They have had some empty possessions. That last possession was a really good one as good defense position here by Lehigh.
Yeah, tough shot from Alexander, rebounded by Parolin.
But I think they just got to try to get it to Whitney Sidney, try to get some open threes for Parolin and Higgins, and kind of just go from there.
Parolin gets it to Higgins. Kicks it out to Gillis. Now back to Higgins. Drives to the hoop, stops, out to Gillis. Tough possession, tough three-pointer. No good, rebounded by Boston. That's Matai Baptiste. Ethan Okusa drives to the hoop, and he gets a free look at the basket, and this game is tied yet again.
Great screen there by Landrum. He got his guy open for the easy layup, and as you mentioned, we got a tie game again.
Higgins now kicks it out to Knotzman. Spins. Out to Parolin for three. No good. Rebounded by Baptiste. A few tough possessions from Lehigh. Baptiste. Double teamed. Kicks it out to Landrum. Landrum gets it to Okusa, who drives to his left. A tough shot is no good, and it's secured by Parolin.
Good defense there by Lehigh as Knotzman pushes the pace.
Gillis at the top of the three-point line. Lehigh needs a bucket here. Gillis gets double-teamed, gets it to Knotzman. Now out to Higgins. Drives to his right, stops, shoots. No good. Another good defensive possession from Boston.
It really was. As Higgins drive, Boston had help coming from the weak to the strong side, and it kind of deterred Higgins from getting all the way to the cup, so he had to sort of just pull up and settle for a jump shot.
Tyrone Alexander, and he is fouled by Keith Higgins. I heard the slap from the opposite side of the court, so that was definitely a foul.
It was a foul. Yeah, he's gonna, try to put Boston back up as we're getting down the stretch. This is officially a clutch game, tie game, 4:10 left.
Looks like we're going to get some substitutions for both sides. As Alexander, his first shot is good, and Boston gets the lead. Bert Chubar is going to come into the game for Ben Knotzman. Nico Nobili comes in for Otto Landrum.
And interesting for Lehigh, Tyler Whitney Sidney, who's their leading scorer today, is on the bench down the stretch.
Maybe they're subbing him out for defensive reasons?
Possibly. I don't know, maybe Coach Reed hasn't been too happy with his play in the second half.
Now Miles Brewster is going to come in for Tyrone Alexander. Boston's new leading scorer with 15, right ahead of Tyrone Alexander with 15 as well. Actually, they are tied. Cam Gillis. Lehigh needs a good possession here. They've had a couple bad ones. Gillis gets it down low to Parolin. Almost stolen. Gets double teamed. Still gets the shot up, and he still makes it. Clutch basket from Dominic Parolin.
That was a clutch bucket. Nice jump hook in the lane to tie the game with the double team coming.
Boston kicks it all the way to the right corner to Okusa. Now out to Baptiste for three. No good. Rebounded by Higgins. Tie it up at 58 here with just over 3 minutes to go. Every possession matters.
It really does. Baptiste had an open look there. He just came up short.
Parolin now with the ball. Gets it down low. Now back out to Parolin. Picks up his dribble, and they call a travel on Dominic Parolin.
Great double team there by Roy to cause the travel by Parolin. And we got a timeout.
We have another media timeout. This game is tied. The 4 seed, possibly the 3 seed, is on the line. Home court advantage on the line. Don't go anywhere. We are back in Bethlehem. Boston with the ball after the Parolin travel.
And Lehigh made a substitution here. Whitney Sidney in the game for Higgins.
Brewster with a tough shot that hits the side of the backboard. Rebounded by Whitney Sidney. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jaden.
No, you're good. Great contest there by Lehigh.
Gillis gets it down low to Chubar. The shot is just off. Rebounded by Morales.
Good look there by Chubar. Just wasn't able to get it to go.
Tyrone Alexander gets the screen. Kicks it out to Morales. Takes the 3 over Chubar. No good. Rebound Lehigh.
Really tough shot there by Morales, especially since he's kind of struggled today. But good contest by Lehigh and a good stop.
Just over 2 minutes to go here. We are tied in Bethlehem. Gillis picks up his dribble. Chubar for 3. No good. Seems like nobody can score right now, Jaden.
Exactly. And we have a timeout by BU.
Boston is going to call a timeout. We are still tied at 58. Under 2 minutes to go. Minute 54.
Boston timeout. 30 seconds.
Seems like both teams are allergic to scoring. I don't think we've had a bucket in about 2.5 minutes.
You're right, we haven't.
Tyrone Alexander inbounds it to Roy.
Yeah, I was going to say some good looks by both teams, just nothing has really been falling.
Alexander looking to drive. Good defense from Lehigh. No good, but it's rebounded by Boston out to Roy. 4 seconds on the shot clock here from Boston. I don't think they know. Nobili for 3, and it's no good, and it's going to be a shot clock violation as it didn't even hit the rim.
Tough possession there by Boston, especially after the timeout. You think the coach drew something up, but they just did not have a good offensive possession. Great defense by Lehigh.
Otto Landrum checks into the game for Boston for Anthony Morales.
Some
Looks
more
like-
full court pressure.
Yeah, sorry, Jaden. I was just about to say, it looks like Boston is going to go back to that full court pressure. Boston doesn't have anyone on the opposite side of the court.
You got to think Lehigh's probably going to get it into the post here to Chubar or Perlin. My bad.
The student section is chanting, "Let's go Lehigh." Still a tie game. Just over a minute to go. Chubar picks up his dribble. Out to Gillis. Gets the screen from Perlin. Another tough possession. Gillis out to Chubar. Back out to Gillis. No good. Rebounded by Gillis as he hits the floor. And it's a travel. Lehigh could not get the timeout call.
Gillis had to put up a shot at the end of the shot clock, got his own rebound. It looked like he might have gotten hit by a BU player, but there was no call, and they had to call something because he, went up and down with the ball, and they called it travel. So now, under a minute to go, BU's got the ball, making a substitution here.
Anthony Morales is back into the game. Just a tough possession from Lehigh. You'd think this would be a completely different game if they could have just made one of those buckets. Brewster out to Morales. Tries to go to his right, kicks it out back. Brewster double teamed, trying to pass it off. Back down low. This time it's Landrum. Works on his left. Great defense. No good. Rebound Perlin. And Lehigh advances it across court, and they're going to call a timeout. 24.9 seconds on the game clock with 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Great defense there by Lehigh. Great defensive possession, one of their best in the game. It resulted in a tough hook shot from Landrum, and he wasn't able to get it to go. What do you think, Nick? Who do you think Lehigh's going to get it to here?
You would think Tyler Whitney-Sydney, but he hasn't been in the game. Like, he hasn't been taking shots recently. It's been mostly Perlin and Chubar.
Right, 100%. That's good analysis. I would think Whitney-Sydney, but honestly, I think they're going to maybe go to the post here. The main key for Lehigh right now, since the shot clock and game clock are basically identical, is to make sure that they put up a shot with no time left. Because they don't want to miss and then give BU a chance to win it in regulation. They want to either have this game go to overtime or they want to just win it right here.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jaden. 0.9 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. They cannot take a quick shot here. They cannot pull an Andrea Bargnani. As a Knicks fan myself and a Knicks fan as you, Jaden, we know that situational awareness is key.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I'm sure that's what Coach Reed is telling them right now, not to take a quick shot and to just, kind of hold the ball until the shot clock winds down. You'll probably see Gillis out here on the perimeter, just sort of dribbling it around and waiting until most of the time goes down and then getting into whatever play Coach Reed called.
Here we go. Joshua Ingram is going to inbound it for Lehigh.
Higgins is in the game for Lehigh now, too.
Gets it to Gillis. Instant pressure from Boston. Gillis dribbling the clock out, guarded by Ben Roy. Gillis just standing right above the H, draining the clock. 7 seconds. Now to Higgins. Drives to his left, gets the shot up. No good. Rebounded by Boston, and we are going to overtime. So not a terrible look from Lehigh, but it could have been a better look as we are going to overtime.
It definitely could have been a better one. They gave Higgins an isolation play with the clock winding down. He got to his spot on the floor, that left wing, put up a contested shot, and just didn't really get the bounce, and then no offensive rebound. BU was able to secure the rebound, and now we're going to overtime.
Boston University versus Lehigh. What a great game. Boston is in a 3-game winning streak. Their last game was a win in overtime against Loyola. Lehigh on a 5-game winning streak. These teams are right next to each other in the standings. The winner is most likely going to get a home quarterfinal game. We will be right back. Welcome back to Lehigh Mountain Hawks basketball here on the Lehigh Student Broadcasting Club. What a game. I mean, what a game so far. We are tied at 58. We're about to go into overtime. What do you think is going to be the key factor in deciding if Lehigh takes the win or not?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be based on who executes better offensively. This has been a defensive battle. BU has played really good defense, especially in the second half, holding Lehigh to 19 points. And let's just see who executes better on the offensive side of the floor.
Otto Landrum wins the jump for Boston. I would like to note both teams are in a scoring drought. It seems like it's been 4 minutes since there's been a bucket.
It's been a while.
Roy gets it down low to Landrum, working on Parolin. Great defense. Bricks the shot, rebounded by Parolin.
The Lehigh fans are really getting into it now, especially that student section.
Joshua Ingram gets it down low to Parolin. Now Parolin working on Landrum. Parolin a little too strong.
Good move there by Parolin. He just kind of missed that hook shot.
Brewster stops. And he's rejected by Parolin. Gosh, it's like nobody can score. Almost feels like both teams took the under as the jumper is no good. I mean, this is incredible.
This is incredible, you're right. Really good defense by both teams. But yeah, nothing is falling.
Roy slows it down for Boston. Out to Alexander, who drives to the hoop. He's stripped, stolen by Lehigh. Gillis gets the ball up to Whitney Sinney, who drives to the hoop, and it's a block on Boston. Tyler Whitney Sinney goes down hard. Both players are still down. And now they are going to get back up. Tyler Whitney Sinney looks shaken up. Hope he's okay.
Yeah, he does look a little shaken up, walking slowly.
He is for sure taking his time before these free throws.
Big free throws here as the Lehigh cleanup crews wiping a wet spot.
Yeah, they've been working on that all second half.
They really have.
2 shots for Tyler Whitney Sinney, the leading scorer for Lehigh tonight, the junior from Somerville, Mass. And he misses the first one. Boston makes 3 substitutions as Matai Baptiste, Nico Nobili, and Ethan Okuso come in for Boston.
a little offensive substitutions, it seems like.
Second shot here for Tyler Whitney-Sidney. Just rims out, and nobody can make a shot.
This is crazy.
It's just comical at this point. Both teams are allergic to scoring. Roy trying to get it down low. Kicks it out to Nobili. Guarded by Parolin. Lehigh student section is loud. Baptiste now gets it down low to Roy, and it's kind of rejected by Parolin. I think he just lost it.
Great deflection there by Parolin. He's been really at the center of the Lehigh defense in the second half.
I mean,
deflecting balls, blocking shots.
Yeah,
everything.
he's been carrying them defensively in this overtime period. Whitney-Sidney still in the game. Down low to Parolin, guarded by Nobili. Goes to his left, pump fakes, and finally a basket has been scored. Dominic Parolin, of course, and Lehigh gets the lead by 2. Timeout, Boston. Halfway through the overtime period, and we finally have a bucket. We will be right back. Six minutes and 4 seconds where nobody scored on either team. Dominic Parolin has ended the drought. Lehigh is up by 2 as we resume the overtime period. Boston with incredible ball movement. Already made 5 passes. Brewster. Now out to Nobili. Now Okusa. Everyone has touched the ball. The three-pointer is good from Kyron Alexander. Just like that, Boston has a 1-point lead. And now Lehigh is going to call a timeout instantly.
That was a great shot. Not much more to say. No real play they ran there. They just got it to him, and he just, rose over the contest and knocked it down.
I mean, man, what a crazy game. You have nobody scoring for over 6 minutes, overtime included. Lehigh finally scores, and then Boston just makes a 3 right over the defender's face.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it is sometimes. Boston, knew they needed to answer, and they were able to answer in a big way.
Boston 61, Lehigh 60. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in this overtime period. We are already back from the timeout, so we will not go anywhere. Joshua Ingram to inbound for Lehigh. Lehigh at least needs to get a good look here. Whitney-Sidney with the ball. Back to Ingram. Back to Whitney-Sidney. Gets the screen from Parolin. Good defense here from Boston. Whitney-Sidney picks up his dribble. Back to Gillis. Screen from Parolin. Goes back to his left. Terrible possession here from Lehigh. Tough shot. And they're going to call a timeout on Lehigh with 1 second left on the shot clock. That is crazy.
That is crazy. I think Coach Brown needs to set up some sort of alley-oop play or just a quick catch and shoot because, as you mentioned, there's only 1 second left on the shot clock.
I mean, he was going to get rejected, and the shot wasn't even going to hit the rim. Like, that was just a horrible possession.
That was. You got to kind of question what they talked about during the timeout to get a possession like that because they didn't really have any look at the rim.
Man, Lehigh is going to look at this film, and they're going to think to themselves, how did we lose that game if they end up losing tonight?
For sure. This would be a tough one to swallow, but it's for sure not over. I can see from here Coach Reed is drawing something up. And I don't know, look for them maybe to get a lob to the rim to one of their big guys or maybe just a catch and shoot shot for Whitney, Sidney, or Ingram.
I think maybe they'll fake the lob and then try to get a three with Tyler Whitney-Sidney. At this point, you have 1 second on the shot clock. It's going to be hard to get a good look.
Definitely.
So Cam Gillis is going to inbound it for Lehigh. Gillis to Whitney-Sidney, catches, shoots, hits the rim, no good. Rebound Landrum. He got a decent look there, but just a tough shot.
I was going to say, good look considering they didn't have much time, but just came up short.
Boston, if they can get a huge shot here, it'll help their chances a ton. Brewster, guarded by Gillis, gets the screen from Landrum, picks up his dribble, kicks it out. Okusu drives. The layup is no good, and it's rebounded by Chubar. He could have traveled there, but it's not called.
The BU bench wanted to travel, but no call.
Whitney-Sidney kicks it out to Parolin. Just over a minute to go here. Boston up by 1. Lehigh slows it down. Gillis looking for somebody. Now goes to his right, is stopped. Kicks it out to Parolin, goes to his right. And we're going to get a charge on Dominic Parolin. What a huge play by Otto Landrum.
Yeah, great play by Landrum. He definitely sold the charge there. But just not a great offensive possession by Lehigh there. Everyone was just kind of looking for each other, it looked like. And just nothing really got going until very late in the shot clock, and then they had the charge as they continue to wipe that wet spot.
It feels like they've done that 8 times in the second half and overtime.
Yeah.
Morales looking to inbound it. Guarded heavily, and he calls a timeout.
Good denial there by Lehigh of the inbounds pass.
Coach Joe Jones is livid with his team.
I was going to say that. Exactly. 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. Lehigh, they showed some full court pressure there. I assume they're going to continue with that because, they got BU to call a timeout, and they just got to have a good defensive possession, and then if they can get a stop, they got to try to attack early because, when you're down 1 with some time left, you want to try to get a shot early so if you miss, you can foul and then potentially get another opportunity.
Yeah, you're totally right here, Jaden. This is the opposite of what happened at the end of the second half. You want to shoot. You don't want to rush your shot, but you want to shoot with some time left in case you miss, so then you can foul and stay in the game.
Exactly.
Now, if this were a tie game, it would be a different story.
Right.
But it's not. Boston's up by 1.
Yeah, so I think Boston, if I were them, I'd probably try to get Landrum a post touch. That's been working a little bit. They had the 3 by Alexander earlier in the overtime. But look for them to possibly get a post touch if they break the Lehigh press, as Lehigh has some full court man pressure here.
Morales cannot call timeout. Gets it across the court to Brewster. And we have a shot clock error.
Yeah, malfunction here.
Shot clock malfunction stops the game.
So the officials got to go to the scores table to make sure they get the shot clock and game clock correct. And then I think Boston will inbound on Lehigh's side of the floor.
Yes, you would think so. Man, what a game here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
It really has been just a great defensive battle. We mentioned it. BU only averages 65 a game, and Lehigh averages almost 74. And both teams are under those marks, and the game's been, the game's in overtime. So it's really, shown that Lehigh and BU have played good defense. Also, both offenses, I think, have struggled a little bit, a little indecision, I'd say.
Both of these teams have veteran coaches. Joe Jones for Boston University in his 13th season. Brett Reed, of course, in his 17th season at Lehigh. Both coaches have been to March Madness. They have a ton of experience. They haven't not been in this situation before. Let's see who outmatches who in this last. Looks like. Okay, the clock says 4.6 seconds, but that is not accurate. Looks like they're fixing that right now. I think it was 47 seconds left. Definitely below 1 minute.
Yeah, about 40-something seconds.
The ref is talking to the clock operator. The ref seems pretty frustrated with him.
He does. I'm not really sure what went wrong because looking at it before they made the stop, there was 27 on the shot clock and 40, almost 46 on the game clock, and that seemed about right.
The clock still says 4.6 seconds, and they're gonna play. They're about to play, and the clock says 4.6 seconds. That is definitely not correct. Oh, and now the official is headed over to the table. Yeah, I think they're 1 digit off. Should be 46 seconds, not 4.6. There we go. Now it's 46.2 seconds with 27 on the shot clock. Boston is going to inbound on Lehigh's side of the court.
So all of that was to add 0.3 seconds to the game clock.
Hey, you never know. That 0.3 could result in the other team winning.
Yeah.
Boston is going to drain this clock out before they shoot the ball here. Lehigh crowd chanting defense. Brewster. Now Akuso. Back to Brewster. Brewster. And it's stolen by Lehigh. Tyler Whitney-Sidney gets it down low to Gillis. Drives to the hoop, and he's rejected by Morales, and it's rebounded by BU. What a sequence.
Wow.
And now Ethan Okusa is going to shoot 2. Boston is only up 1, so Lehigh is still in this game. But there's 18.5 to go. Boston is going to shoot a 1-and-1.
That was crazy. Cam Gillis got the steal. Whitney-Sidney got the ball, passed it to Gillis ahead. He went up and then got rejected.
First shot for Ethan Okusa, 1-and-1. No, it's not a 1-and-1. And he misses the first shot.
Huge miss.
So BU is in the double bonus, pardon me, but he misses the first shot, which means a three-pointer wins it for Lehigh. And Keith Higgins is going to sum it to the game. Second shot is good.
Timeout for Lehigh.
So Lehigh is going to call a timeout. Keith Higgins is going to come into this game. Boston is up by 2 with 18.5 to go. I mean, I could say don't go anywhere, but I think you won't. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Boston 62, Lehigh 60, 18.5 to go. This game is for a home game in the Patriot League quarterfinals. Both teams have 0 timeouts. Lehigh down by 2. They'll get possession. Do you think they go for 2 or for 3 here, Jaden?
By the personnel, it looks like they might be going for 3. Parolin is out, interestingly enough. He has their 1 bucket in the overtime, and they took him out.
Full court pressure from Boston. No timeouts again. Gets it into Whitney Sidney, who almost ran out of bounds, but gets it to Gillis. Gillis to Whitney Sidney. Drives to his right. The shot is good. A tough bucket. And the ref stops the game. I have no idea what happened. He made the shot. The game is tied.
Man, what a move there by Whitney Sidney. It looked like he tried to draw the foul, but he made the bucket. And I think maybe the refs are stopping it because the clock kept running after the make, possibly. So they're going to try to add more time back. I think there's maybe going to be 6 seconds for Boston to get a shot. This is good for Boston because their coach could, let them know what he wants them to do because they didn't have any timeouts.
Yeah, I think we've seen everything in this game, Jaden.
We really have. The good news for Lehigh is that they'll have a chance to set their defense, and I'm sure that's what Coach Reed is going over right now. If I were Coach Reed, I'd be telling my guys to make sure not to foul. As we've mentioned, it's been a defensive game. Teams have struggled to make shots, so definitely try not to foul and, just try to play clean defense and try to send it to another overtime.
Tyler Whitney Sidney with that bucket. His total is now at 20 points. He leads all Lehigh scorers, right above Dominic Parolin with 18. The clock has been set to 6 seconds now, so you were correct, Jaden. It was at 5.2, and they're going to add 0.8 seconds to the clock here.
So Lehigh's got the same lineup out there. No Parolin. And they got some full court pressure.
Full court pressure here from Lehigh.
With the inbounder's man not guarding the inbounder.
Morales is going to inbound for Boston. Morales gets it into Brewster. Brewster gets it down low. And it's good! And Boston has stunned Lehigh. That was Ethan Okwusa who went up and under. And this game is over just like that. Brett Reed is asking for the refs to check the clock, but I'm not sure if there was any time left, and maybe 0.1. Wow, what a shot from Boston.
Yeah, that was insane. That was crazy. Just a defensive breakdown by Lehigh there. And there might be 0.2 or 0.1 left, but even if they put that much time left, they wouldn't even be able to get a shot off. They just need to, tip it in. But that was crazy, just a defensive breakdown. It seemed like 3 guys for Lehigh went to the guy who was bringing up the ball, which is never a good sign because that means that someone's open.
It looks like they're going to add 0.2 to the clock, so this game is not officially over. But the only way Lehigh can win is if they throw it full court and then tip it in.
Right, exactly. They have to tip it in. They can't even get a shot off with 0.2. So you're going to see some sort of Hail Mary throw to a tip in. They're going to get their biggest guys in there, or they won't. Yeah, nope, they're not going to.
Yeah, Morales is telling everyone to just get back. Higgins is going to try to just chuck it across the court. Higgins chucks it, and no. This game is over. Boston wins. Another heartbreaker for Lehigh. I moved to 0-9 at Lehigh Sporting Events. What a great game, though. Boston gets the win, moves into the 4 seed. Lehigh drops down to the 5 seed. Lehigh is now 12-16 overall, 9-8 in the Patriot League. Their win streak is over. Boston now 14-16, 9-8 in the Patriot League, and they extend their win streak to 4 games. I have been Nick Delictus, joined by Jaden Yohai. I am with CJ Bodner, who's been producing. Shout out to CJ. We will see you on Saturday for Lehigh's last regular season game against Colgate. Take care.